Welcome back to the Politbureau. Now, in this segment, we unpack how politicians spin information and events for their own benefit. Now, on Thursday, President Jacob Zuma told Parliament that neither he nor his son, Duduzane, have ever tried to influence government officials in order to benefit from state contracts. Let's have a listen.
Duduzane, I've not heard, you let me know that he has ever benefited his business that is involved in from government, where Zuma has participated to say, give him something. Never, I've never done that. He is involved in business in his own accord.
All right, well, maybe let's jog the president's memory here.
He basically said, and that was the end of the conversation. When that call came, that's what actually made me even more upset, because I was on my way to that meeting. They must have communicated to the president that they're meeting me, and they then tried to call him to demonstrate their influence in the opposing government, so that by the time the meeting happens with Ajay, I must have received a call from the highest office in the land to tell me to cooperate with them.
He said, maybe you should meet one of my partners, Ajay Gupta. I said, no, why should I meet Ajay? And he said to me, he had reported this to his father. I said, I am going to report back to your father this discussion. And I did that. I went back to the president, said to him, I've had this discussion, and I've refused to meet this guy.
And what was the president's response to that?
No, he said, it's okay, there's no problem.
And there was no further pushing you to meet the family after that, Mr. Ramatlala?
No.
But would you say that there were any consequences? Would you say that there was a negative impact on you doing your job thereafter when you refused to meet with the Guptas?
I leave that to public opinion.
Mr. Vavi, is the president suffering from selective amnesia? There are government officials, former government officials now, who are clearly saying that both he and his son have tried one way or the other to influence government officials.
The clip that you're playing then lends us into the point that I was making, the credibility gap. But also it talks to another problem in South Africa about the role of the president and how he himself stands accused at this moment. This guy, Masego, is no just anybody. Represent, in my view, the type of the ANC I joined when it was not fashionable to join, when it was far more risky. And he is on record, not now, last year, and he had filled an affidavit to the ANC Secretary General
and to the Public Protector, and he stands ready to go to the whatever Judicial Commission of Inquiry to look at this issue. And I don't doubt that he is speaking the truth about that. You see, when I then talked about very muddied water, and the third point, by the way, so the president is accused of helping his son by two very prominent leaders of the ANC. And there he goes to Parliament, he says, I know nothing of it. And he's being asked by the Public Protector, precisely because he is conflicted on this matter. Please allow someone else of stature in society to draft the terms of reference of this investigation. Surely you don't want to do that yourself when there are people going out in public saying these things. The president says, no, I will want to interpret the Constitution to say that I have a right to appoint the judge, the terms of reference to investigate me, even when I am actually conflicted. Mr. Manye, who's more credible here? Is it the president of South Africa or his former government officials?
No, look, I think context. What is the context? The context here is that at that time, Themba was the head of GCIS. GCIS is a department in the presidency. Okay? So Themba is amongst the DGs that are swirling around the president with him and DG Lubisi and so on. These are the presidents, the people that are there. And as you would know, there are many people You must remember that we elect politicians, don't elect officials. So when people have got any other requirement, they talk to the politicians. There's absolutely nothing untoward with any politician saying to a DG like Temba, saying to a DG, hey, I've got people that want this, can you help them? Absolutely nothing wrong with that statement.
Trying to influence the government?
There was no Tutuzane here. He said that was not a Tutuzane.
He was talking to Tutuzane. Tutuzane had called him.
No. That's not what he said. Listen to the clip. He said it was called by the president. And the president said,
No, I'm talking about the clip that followed. Remember, it's Ngwako Ramatloti who is now laying bare what has happened to him in respect of the president's son. He says that his son asked him to meet one of his Gupta associates.
Yeah, but you see, you are confusing issues. We are talking about his son, not talking about the president. We are confusing issues. If in Ramatlodi's case, if he was called by Tutuzane, why do you want to read the president into that? Is
why not?
Tutuzane the president?
The president has denied in parliament that he's ever heard, nor he himself ever tried to influence anybody to try and help.
So why does Tutuzane calling Ramatlodi implicate the president? I mean, really, not making sense. Tutuzane, the son of the president, calls somebody, and all of a sudden the president must know. How must he know this? You're not making sense, are you?
Mr. Vavi?
I'm shocked. Sometimes you just become speechless. I honestly don't know how you sleep at night, Jimmy, defending what is happening in South Africa today.
I'm not defending. I'm saying,
no.
Not defending.
Let me, don't interject. You stopped me from interjecting before.
Okay.
Here is a country tilting towards a major catastrophe. 9.3 of its people are unemployed. It's on junk status. And it is now not growing. It's on recession. And this morning I was just reading the report about the tragedy that is unfolding in one of the state enterprise, the Petro SA. This is the song for each and every other state of enterprise except very few that today are not engulfed in the same type of a crisis. Here, South Africans having two principal concerns. The first concern, confirmed by any research that you can tap into, is that South Africans are concerned about the rate of unemployment in this country. The second one is that South Africans are concerned about self-serving politicians who are looting, who are eating whilst our people are mired in poverty and trapped in structural unemployment crisis. And unfortunately, you, my dear comrade and friend, choose to be a chief spokesperson of an agenda that is against essentially the revolution as we understand it. The revolution is about liberating black people in general and African in particular from their yoke of oppression.
No, but
hold on. That colonialism and apartheid visited on them. You spinning now, yeah.
What's spinning? All right, gentlemen, we need to close the show. Mr. Vavi, I'm really sorry about this. And Mr. Manye, I understand you may have wanted to respond to Mr. Vavi. I'm really sorry, but we're going to have to cut it here. That's the end of this week's Politbureau. Do send us your feedback and comments. Till next time, the Politbureau is now adjourned.